Hello everyone, welcome back to G-Tech Motorworks. Despite the fact that in the UK we probably have about 300 miserable days of weather, we seem to be absolutely obsessed with convertibles. So I'm going to give you the do's and don'ts of the ownership of one of these cars. So the various different types of convertible available. You've got the manually operated soft top, you've got electronic, hydraulic soft tops, and then you've got the convertible coupes, which is basically a hard top that folds down. Now, you can have all sorts of different problems relating to these roofs. It just depends on the design and the function, how that particular roof works. The things to watch out for is slow operation, if it appears to be sticking. You can also probably hear an over-exaggerated noise coming from the hydraulic system, the electronic pump, all just little things to watch out for. Coming out to the vehicle one day and find that it doesn't work intermittently, but then does start working, don't ignore it just because it has started working. You really should go and get it checked as soon as possible. When it comes to preventative maintenance, most manufacturers now have a recommended interval when your roof should be serviced, and it's not as daunting as it sounds. Primarily, we're just making sure that the roof operation is unrestricted. So things like rubber seals are lubricated to make sure that the contact points are all okay, they don't let in water. Water being let into the convertible, not only do you get water inside the vehicle, but also in the operating mechanisms of the roof design. Other preventive maintenance, we have lubrication of any contact points for the mechanics and the hydraulics. We also need to make sure that you don't use the parcel shelf as a parcel shelf. It's a parcel shelf by name. Anything that you leave on the back window can end up dropping down into the mechanism and into the storage area for the roofs. So you just need to make sure that's clear. And on certain models, they do have drain points throughout the roof operation. These tend to come out somewhere near the back to make sure that the rainwater has got somewhere to go. So you need to make sure that that is left free. BMWs are quite common for the rainwater drains to fill up. We get leaves in there, you get debris, that then fills up with water, and as you're driving around, it feels like you're in a fish tank. Also, we're talking about the fabric tops on the roofs. So hard tops, you don't really need to worry about that so much, but with your fabric top, you need to make sure these are conditioned. Obviously, you can see some creases starting to appear. You don't want to leave them stored in the down position for long periods of time. These will cause the creases, it causes the lines, it causes discolourment. And also, when you're getting the vehicle valeted, don't neglect the roof. Again, they will fade depending on the colour and the design of the roof, and you could end up with streaks, you could also end up with little patches, and you could also end up with rough points where it's been making contact unnecessarily because it's lost its subtleness. Another thing you can check yourself on most convertibles, if you've got a hydraulic pump, which is usually located somewhere in the boot, out the way, behind some sound deadening, you want to make sure that the fluid level is okay. If it's not okay, have a quick glance around, see if there's any sign of leaks. If you can't see any leaks, you should nip it to your garage as soon as possible and get them to check the rest of the hydraulics in the system, because once those start to fail, it can cause all sorts of problems. So most modern day convertibles with the soft top, you've got a solid piece of glass in the back. Two things you need to watch out for. If you've got the solid pane of glass, you want to keep an eye on your seals. If it's dirty, wipe it. That moss will get in underneath the sealing material and cause it to detach from the roof. If you've got an earlier roof which tends to have more of a plastic screen, these actually fold when the roof is in the stored position. So again, don't leave them in that position for too long. You'll end up with a permanent crease, maybe even a crack. And finally, your wiring. So if you have been in the unfortunate position where you have had water ingress either in through the roof or in through the drainage system, you need to have the electronics checked. If any of that water has gone into the relays, the pump, or any of the wiring, this can obviously cause problems later down the line. So you've got a convertible, the sun's come out, and now your roof doesn't work. You've neglected your maintenance, you've ignored any problems that you might have had, so you've had to bring it to G-Tech Motorworks. or any garage that specialises in roof repairs, what the consequences. So it depends on what the problem is. If you've had the water ingress, we could be looking at a water issue causing problems with your electronics and your hydraulics. It could be something as simple as a micro switch which has dropped out of position. There's probably about 20 to 50 depending on the type of vehicle that you've got with a convertible roof. So it's not the end of the world, but you've got to be aware that if you don't look after these, they can end up costing you a small fortune. And is it really worth it just for a little bit of sun? Right everyone, so I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I hope it's been informative. As you're probably now aware, G-Tech is sort of concentrating more on your common issues, your little fixes, workshop related items, and its IMTI is now concentrating on the bigger builds, the project cars, and all those kind of related items. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you very, very soon.